The Astros are looking to the future in the hopes of finding a winning combination in 2013. The future is now for the Los Angeles Angels, but so far the price they paid for a championship season has been for naught. Two teams and two philosophies collide in Houston. Astros baseball begins now. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Comcast Sportsnet brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open a three-game series against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. The Astros and the Angels holding down those last two spots, Ash, in the AL West, and both hoping that their turnaround begins tonight.
They both do, obviously. The Astros had a big off day yesterday, and it turned out a little larger for a couple of guys maybe than they had hoped. Rick Ankiel, one of those guys, Fernando Martinez as well. Both players DFA'd. They have been designated for assignment, and they have now a period of time in which they have to wait and see what happens. But the numbers were not good for Ankiel or Martinez. The batting average, obviously very low on base percentage, and the strikeouts, and not where they would want. Rick Ankiel did some things well for the ball club. You have to face the fact he had 5 home runs, 2 of those as a pinch hitter, but most of what he had done was with those 5 home runs. There was some fine defensive work also for Ank, and even well beyond a play like this. Great throwing arm, and I thought he was a very good soldier for the ball club.
And with those moves, Trevor Crowe and Jimmy Paredes now have joined the Astros from Oklahoma City, both of whom were hitting very well with high on-base percentages, and they're hot at the moment. They also run well with 11 steals for Crowe and 7 for Jimmy Paredes, and Paredes is in the lineup tonight. And for more, we go to Julia on the field.
Yeah, guys, the team has dealt with several moves already this season, but the decision to designate Rick Ankiel for assignment stung a little bit more as the group had gotten to know him a little bit better, and especially for Carlos Pena. The two had become very close. Their lockers sat next to each other. They were close in age. Carlos came out saying, "I miss him already, but I wish nothing but the best for him." And we've learned, or we've heard about this club using a lot of opportunities to grow. Well, this isn't one of them. These players are saying this is a part of baseball. It's something we've dealt with all levels of professional ball. We have to keep going. We just have to keep playing. And on the loss of a veteran in the clubhouse, Bo Porter told the media earlier today that he doesn't just want 1 or 2 leaders in the clubhouse. He wants a group of leaders, and the players showed that by having a players-only meeting after Sunday night's loss. Kind of a way to just get things out there. All right, coming up, Jordan Lyles is up. He'll get the ball for the Astros against the Angels in the opening game of this series. Don't go anywhere. First pitch coming up.
On Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Whataburger. Try Whataburger's new Monterey Melt with Jalapeno Ranch today for a limited time only. Tonight, under brilliant sunny skies in downtown Houston, it's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim against the Houston Astros. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Starting pitcher for Houston is Jordan Lyles, about to make his second start with the Astros this year. Ash?
Jordan Lyles good in that first start. That against a very good hitting Detroit Tigers team. Jordan Lyles went to the hill, started hitters very well. Fastballs on the corner. He utilized a changeup well that night. Came in on the hands time and time again. This was a version of Jordan Lyles that could play very well here with the Astros, and he's got an opportunity now to take this and run. And a team like the Angels, a team that maybe he can take advantage of.
It's Albert Pujols, it's Josh Hamilton, and the high-powered Angels trying to get on track against Lyles and the Astros next. Park, just a gorgeous night. Now the shade has come in and cooled things off a little bit. It was a little bit warm in some of the areas during batting practice, but this time of night it is a perfect temperature for watching baseball, and it's the opener of this 3-game series. The Astros 0-4 on this homestand, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. The Angels coming from losing 3 of 4 at home against Baltimore. Here's the lineup for Mike Scioscia's Angels tonight. They are 11-20. They're 8.5 games off the lead in the AL West. Eric Ibar is the starter at shortstop. It's Mike Trout in center field. Albert Pujols at first base. DH is Mark Trumbo. He's the cleanup man. With right fielder Josh Hamilton batting fifth, followed by second baseman Howie Kendrick, third baseman Alberto Callaspo, catcher Hank Conger, and left fielder J.B. Shuck.
22-year-old right-hander Jordan Lyles goes to the mound. Second start now for the Astros. Very good in that first one. Took a no decision against the Tigers, working 5 innings. Love to see him get a little deeper than the 5 innings. 6 hits allowed, a couple of earnings against him, and just 1 walk. And that to go with 6 strikeouts, rather impressive. The defense behind Lyles tonight. From behind the plate, Carlos Corporon gets another start. Chris Carter will be at first base as you go around the infield. Jose Altuve, Ronnie Cedeno, and Matt Dominguez in the outfield. Starting in center, Brandon Barnes, flanked by Jimmy Paredes, new with the ball club in right field, and Robbie Grossman moves to left.
Paredes in right field, as Alan mentioned tonight. Very athletic, speedy player. He's been an infielder / outfielder for the Astros. Bo Porter plans to leave him in the outfield this season. He's well taken care of at second with Jose Altuve and at third with Matt Dominguez. So Jimmy right in the lineup just after being promoted, where he was very hot at AAA Oklahoma City. And that's the change with Altuve batting third tonight. We'll get to that in the bottom of the first. A change in the lineup for Bo Porter to try to get the speedsters up in front of Altuve, who is among the best contact hitters around this season. Meanwhile, for Jordan Lyles, a chance to go out and get win number 1 with the Astros. He was in a position to do that last time out. He had the lead when he left, 3-2. He worked 5 innings, and now it's the pesky Ibar to lead it off against him. Eric Ibar was on the disabled list when the Astros were in Anaheim back in mid-April. He checks in at .296 with a .316 on base average and puts a fly ball in the air. Robbie Grossman backing up in left field, plays it off the wall, barehands it, throwing into second base. Ibar is in with a leadoff double on the first pitch, and that gives him a 10-game hitting streak.
Well, I'm sure that scouting report on Jordan Lyles was positive, but also had some information that hitters can utilize. That one outing, fastballs on first pitches, he was throwing them for strikes. And so I would imagine Mike Scioscia said to the guys, we'll go ahead and jump on some heaters if you get them in the strike zone early on. Nice hitting going the other way. And Robbie Grossman, if he puts his throw on the bag, might get his man.
Mike Trout is the batter now. Trout looks at it. It is ball 1. Brian O'Nora is the home plate umpire. Trout has 3 homers in 5 games here in the month of May. He's in the top 10 in total bases after a slow start, but he's driven in 22 runs. That ranks in the top 8 in the American League. He hits this one high, and the right fielder Paredes is back at the warning track with the catch there. It's deep enough to get Ibar to third base on out number 1. Trout advancing the runner. The Angels are 9th in runs scored in the American League.
Watching the Angels here through 2 hitters, you get the impression this is a team that might be red hot with the bat. That impression would be wrong.
It's true. They had some problems against the Orioles. Scioscia 11-20 to start this season. Matches the worst 31-game start in team history for the Angels. They were 9-17 in April. Now Albert Pujols, with the infield laying back, begins the night at .237 with 5 homers. He's driven in 19. Pujols looks at ball 1. Pujols had the game-winning double, a 2-run shot in the 9th inning in game 2 when the Astros were in Anaheim. That was his 15th career walk-off hit. That's in tight to him, and it's 2-0.
Big situation. We've talked about it. The possibility for hitting one inside the bag at third and down the line was presented, and with the speed of Mike Trout at first base, it gave the Angels a victory as he came all the way around to score. Albert Pujols has done this a time or two.
He swings at that one. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count as Lyles continues to crowd Albert Pujols, who's been bothered by plantar fasciitis on the left heel. Not been running well. The Astros are conceding the run. Angels 1-2 of 3 when Houston visited Anaheim. Pujols has been an Astro destroyer over the years. 42 homers, 114 runs batted in against Houston pitching. Now it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count for Jordan Lyles.
Don't be a rookie and take that pitch. You might get a called strike against you.
42 bombs for Albert against Houston pitching. He chases that one though, and it's 3-2.
Well, he might have been guessing fastball on the 3-1. Young pitcher on the hill. Lyles comes with the slider and buries it in the dirt. Nice job by Corporon.
Yes, it was. Pujols has hit 24 home runs here at Minute Maid Park. That is tops by a visiting player in the history of this ballpark, which opened in 2000.
Now that fastball on the hands is set up nicely.
He takes ball 4. First and third one out for Mark Trumbo now. That's the 16th time Pujols has drawn a walk this year. Trumbo has been sizzling to start the season. He is 5th in total bases with 69. He has a .294 average, 8 homers, 20 runs batted in, and Trumbo lately has been hitting a thundering home run bat. He's homered in 5 of his last 7 games.
He is a good and extremely dangerous hitter.
On Monday, he hit a 475-foot bomb. He homered in 3 straight games, April 29th through May 1st. In the air, and that's to left field. Robbie Grossman watching this one sail and looking up, and that is a Trum bomb. 3-run homer, and it's 3-0 Angels as Trumbo deposits number 9. That gives him 23 runs batted in.
This is the reason that I don't necessarily buy into, in fact, I don't buy into, challenge everybody, throw a strike with a fastball on the first pitch. First strike is the most important thing, and on that people can talk about. I think you have to mix it up. Mark Trumbo jumps on the first fastball he sees and just destroys it to left field. I think ultimately you have to pitch.
Now foul ball by Josh Hamilton. There's strike 1 to Hamilton.
It's a fastball inner third, maybe even close to that inside corner, but if you're guessing fastball and you're trying to unload, as Trumbo does a lot of the time, it's just explosion time.
Hamilton swings at that one, falls behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton very slow moving out of the gate, checks in at 208, 2 homers, he's driven in 9 in the dirt. Josh hit both of his home runs when the Astros were in Anaheim. One was April 13th, and the next one came the next night. 1 year ago, 381. Right now, 208 for Josh. He was out for early hitting, as was Albert Pujols today. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hamilton. He was second in the American League in runs batted in last year for Texas. Changeup works, and Hamilton's down on strikes.
Going to be a lot of hard swallowing in Anaheim these days. That big signing of Pujols. And yeah, he wound up having a good year last year. In his first of 10 years on the deal, numbers have been declining, and now what they see after the big signing of Hamilton, just have a feeling there are some people that have to be awfully concerned.
Well, especially when you look at their staff ERA of 4.78, and they were entertaining thoughts of signing Zach Greinke to bring him back. Lost out on that bidding to the Dodgers and decided to swing for a hitter instead of a pitcher. 293 for Howie Kendrick, 4 homers, 16 driven in.
Thing is, they had Torrey Hunter, who came off a great year, and they let him walk.
True.
Did that, I think, with the purpose, the intent to bring on Josh Hamilton.
Howie Kendrick's hit in 15 of his last 17. It's a 2-ball, 1 strike count. This is the first career start for Lyles against the Angels. Jordan was 2-2 at Oklahoma City in 5 starts with a 5.32 ERA. Kendrick wields a very good stick at second base. Does not catch up with the heater. It's a 2-ball, 2 strike count. Now he had 2 hits in the 3 games against the Astros out west earlier this season. Native of Jacksonville, Florida, 28 years old. Fastball's foul back. Both these clubs are coming off a day off. The Angels have dropped 9 of their last 12. They're beginning a 6-game road trip, which will take them on to U.S. Cellular Field and a series with the White Sox for Mike Scioscia next. When we were in Anaheim, Mike was recalling his days coming in as a Dodger to the Astrodome.
Those were not fun for any hitter. Guys complained they wanted to get out of town so fast.
He did bring that up. Swinging a curveball, and Corcoran throws to first base for the second strikeout of the inning. But Mark Trumbo has done 3 runs worth of damage with home run number 9 of the year. Angels 3, Astros coming up. Mark Trumbo in the top of the first. Now we check the Bo Porter lineup card against C.J. Wilson. He goes with left fielder Robbie Grossman, right fielder Jimmy Paredes, second baseman Jose Altuve, DH J.D. Martinez, just back from the disabled list, Carlos Corporan the catcher, Chris Carter at first base, Ronnie Cedeno at shortstop, Matt Dominguez at third base, Brandon Barnes in center field.
On the mound for the Angels, left-hander C.J. Wilson, 32 years of age. He's a perfect 3-0 on the season, 4.04 the ERA. He walks quite a few guys, and you can see this year 22 walks in 35-plus innings. He'll also get his strikeouts, but a guy who, when it's all said and done, making a lot of money for the Angels, but picking up the wins.
And he pitched well and beat the Astros in Anaheim April 14th, beating Philip Humber 4-1, giving up 1 run in 6 innings. Robbie Grossman, with a 7-game hitting streak, gets it started and takes strike 1 from Wilson with a 208 average. He has no homers, 2 runs batted in, 321 on base average for Robbie. Wilson gets a call there and extends the count to 0-2. C.J. Wilson 4-1 lifetime against Houston with a 3.38 ERA. Bouncer to shortstop, Ibar charging, and he throws accurately for out number 1.
The defense for the Angels on the evening starts behind the dish. Hank Conger, the youngster, will do the work there. Albert Pujols, Howie Kendrick, Eric Ibar, and Alberto Callaspo around the infield. In the outfield, the great one, Mike Trout in center field. He's flanked by Josh Hamilton in right and J.B. Shuck in left field.
24-year-old switch hitter Jimmy Paredes comes up now. He was wielding a hot stick for the Oklahoma City Redhawks, hitting .366 with 3 homers. He had driven in 15, an OPS of better than 1,000. He had an 11-game hitting streak that was snapped yesterday. He had started 19 games at third and 9 in right field. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. General Manager Jeff Luhnow of the Astros was talking on the field during batting practice about Jimmy and said he is really confident right now. Bouncer, C.J. Wilson gets it off. Throws him out. Tony DeFrancesco, who has managed Paredes both in the major and minor leagues in the Astros system, was telling Jeff about Paredes' high confidence lately, and so he's calling up a hot hitter.
I liked what I saw from Jimmy Paredes in the spring as well as today during batting practice. Batting practice can tell you some things. It doesn't tell you a ton, but he didn't look like an excited kid trying to jack everything to left field. He was shooting it back up the middle into right field and did so very well. And this ground ball could easily have been a base hit minus the fine play on the mound.
Yes. Not every pitcher gets his glove up and makes that play. Jose Altuve batting third now at .331, has 1 homer. He's driven in 15. He's batted first. He's batted second. Now in the number 3 spot, taking ball 1. But certainly you can understand this move by Bo Porter to put him in the number 3rd spot in the lineup for the first time this season. It's 1-1. The hope is that Grossman and Paredes will be on base a lot, and Altuve will drive in a lot of runs.
Well, he's the best hitter on the club, and go ahead and utilize him there.
He went 4 for 12 in the series at Anaheim. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Jose, with 43 hits, is tied for 3rd in the American League. He just turned 23 yesterday, hitting .331. Wilson brings the count to 2-2. Wilson has struggled to throw strikes this year, walking 22 in 36 innings. And he displayed those tendencies against the Astros with 4 walks in 6 innings in Anaheim. Now it's a full count. Wilson, a former reliever, has made the transition to starting, where last year he was 13-10 with the Angels and a 3.83 earned run average for C.J. Wilson. Fouled away from Newport Beach, California, went to Loyola Marymount. Rangers drafted him in the 5th round in 01, and then, as Ash mentioned, he was able to secure a very nice long-term contract as a free agent with the Angels prior to last year. Had Tommy John surgery way back in 04.
It's almost best to get it out of the way with these days.
Foul back, isn't that the truth?
It just does. It seems that no matter how teams try to protect pitchers, take care of the arms. We're not going to overextend them. Tommy John's surgery just almost seems to be inevitable.
Wilson faced Jordan Lyles twice in the 2011 season when he was a Ranger. He won one of those, got a no decision in the other. That's hit well to left field. Jose Altuve charges one. And the Astros get a run back from their new #3 hitter. Home run #2 for Altuve. Makes it 3-1 Angels.
You know, it's almost that same scenario we talked about on the Trumbo home run where he's looking fastball and feels almost assured that he's going to get it. 3-2 pitch. C.J. Wilson has a lot of problems, as you say, walking people. And so you look fastball, get it. And the little man hits a big bomb. Absolute no doubt shot. I don't care what yard you're playing in.
That's a quick run back as Altuve turns on one, and here's J.D. Martinez, just back from an injury rehab assignment, taking ball one. J.D. at 244 with 2 homers has driven in 7. He was rehabbing at AA Corpus Christi. It's a 1-ball 1-strike count. Just activated from the 15-day disabled list yesterday with those numbers. He was out with a right knee sprain. He shoots one toward the right field corner. Here's Hamilton going back. And that one hops the wall and stays in play. Here's Martinez into second base. Back-to-back extra base hits with 2 outs. Double #4 for J.D.
That's a nice way to return to the ball club after an injury. He's done a nice job this year to drive the ball the other way. Kind of a no-stride approach. That's effective, and when you can drive it going the other way, you like to think that you can also take advantage and drive it to left if you get an off-speed pitch.
Brings up Carlos Corporan after the 4th double from J.D. Martinez. He's been playing against several lefties this year. Bounces one to second. Howie Kendrick on over to Pujols. It's 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left for Houston. It's 3-1 Angels after 1. You to tune in to Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score but the experience. Well, a 3-run homer from Mark Trumbo off Jordan Lyles made it 3-0 Angels. Then the Astros got a 2-out solo shot from Jose Altuve in the first. Now Jordan Lyles comes out for inning #2 with Callaspo, Conger, and Shuck. The 7-8-9 hitters due to bat against Jordan. Chance for him to regroup and get something going against the bottom of the Angel lineup. Callaspo at 273 with a homer has driven in 4 as a 347 on base average this year. He was on the disabled list when the Astros were in Anaheim as well. There's strike one to him. He came back on Friday. That was his first game since April 11th. 1 ball, 1 strike. He'd been out with tightness in his right calf. Had missed 19 games. He grounds that one behind first. There's Chris Carter with the play. 1 out.
Got 2 pitchers pacing this thing pretty well here early on, and Chris Carter looks like he is going to see more and more work at first base.
And that's what Bo Porter said to the media before the game tonight. So it could shake out, although Bo did not say this, as a platoon at first with Carter and Carlos Pena, who's on the bench tonight. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But Bo feels that he's pretty well fixed now in the outfield with Grossman, and Barnes, and Paredes, and Crow. Now the number 8 hitter. Conger looks at ball 1. The catcher at 231 with a homer has 4 runs batted in. And Jeff Luhnow said the plan for Brandon Laird, who was sent to Oklahoma City, is just to get him steady at bats there. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, Laird leaves me intrigued because I just wonder if he were able to play every day at the big league level, might he be a quality hitter?
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but he's done well when we've seen him in the spring. That doesn't tell you a whole lot. Done well at AAA, obviously.
Conger and Chris Iannetta are sharing the catching position. Astros are shifting him to pull. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big pull shift on with Altuve out in right field. Now Domingo, as they call him, Matt Dominguez, is moving even further to his left. Now he's walking back to his right. He's kind of the wandering infielder right now.
He can keep a broadcaster going non-stop.
Struck him out with a curve, and Lyles gets strikeout number 3.
Create memories, save money, and have fun with Astros baseball. No matter what your special event, we will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to find out more.
They're having a sweet time. Now the number 9 hitter. Schuck takes, and Schuck looks at that first pitch for ball 1. Former Astro at 333 with no homers. Has 3 runs batted in. JB, 25 years old, went to Ohio State. It's a 2 ball, no strike count.
Did I hear you playing with words there?
No, that was somebody else. So, some of those lines you don't want to claim for your own, right? Bouncer back to Lyles. Schuck is hustling, and that's out number 3. Lyles puts up a 0 in the second, and it's 3-1 Angels.
Angels leading 3-1. Time for our Geico quote of the day. It's From Mike Scioscia, the skipper for the Angels, after Sunday's loss, he said, "We've been terrible. We've been absolutely awful at controlling the defensive side of the game, not the guys on the field, as much as setting the tone on the mound." He's got to be happy with this guy on the mound who's 3-0, C.J. Wilson. This team has lost 9 out of the last 12 games, though. Really tough on the road. They've only won 4 games, and players in the clubhouse referred to this road trip as being a big one, facing the Astros as they go on to face a struggling White Sox team. Guys,
they're trying to get fat in the win column. Chris Carter takes that one. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Thanks, Julia. So Mike Scioscia hoping for that turnaround. So is Bo Porter tonight. It's a turnaround kind of a series. Somebody's got to win this thing. 1-2. Carter at 207 with 6 homers, has 14 runs batted in. Wilson bounces the breaking pitch. The count running to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carter is 3 for 6 lifetime against the lefty. Angels won 89 last year, losing 73. Carter, as he looks at that one, goes to 3-2 in the count. And you see pre-April 13th, 11 games, 231, and since 158 in 20 games.
Yeah, you'd love to see Carter getting better as he moves along. Of course, there are those stretches in the season.
Trout in center moves in. 1 out.
That's the hard thing, is when you have players you haven't seen a lot of before and you're trying to develop them. You can't tell in the first month plus of the season if what you're seeing is the real deal or if it's just one of those glitches that takes place over the course of a year.
Very good point, Ash. 1 out, and here's Cedeno coming up. Ronnie's been playing against lefties. 304, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. If a player has a track record, the manager's going to let him ride it out. If he doesn't, he may be going to the bench. Very few of the Astros players have track records. Not long term anyway. Cedeno takes strike 1.
Track records in the minor leagues, and you hope that those can play out. Some guys get better on the big league level.
Conger comes over and it's out of play. Whoops. Somebody made an error down there, Ash. Guy in the light shirt. He really should have had that.
E10 up on the board.
That just was a lack of effort, really. Absolutely terrible.
Lay off the guy, will you? Guy gave you genuine effort, and you do that to him.
He tried. I'm sorry. Cedeno's down on strikes. Well, upon further review, let's look at it.
Okay,
here.
so now you're going to ride the guy. Let's see.
Yeah.
You see, he maybe could utilize his feet a little bit more, but
Alligator arms.
okay, I'll concede to you.
Got more reach than that. You know, he's very unconcerned though about that bobble. He did preserve his hands.
Take it in stride. That's what you have to do.
Matt Dominguez swings over a slider. There's strike 1. At 250, he has no homers, 9 runs batted in for Matt. Matt was 3 for 12 in the Detroit series. And he got a day off as Brandon Laird played Sunday. And Matt has only had a couple of those. He fouls it back.
Matt Dominguez has swung the bat pretty well over the weekend, and he's been steadily coming along. I find myself wondering where the home run stroke is. But he has hit some balls sharply. And with the line shots he's hit to left field, this one into left center field, it feels to me like some home runs have to be coming along.
Strikeout number 2 for C.J. Wilson. Both pitchers have a 1-2-3 second, and it's 3-1 Angels after 2. What a nice night for baseball. Jordan Lyles didn't find it so nice when he gave up 3 in the first inning, but he's retired 5 in a row since the Trumbo 3-run homer. Now it's Eric Ibar coming around for the second time. He started this game with some thunder, a double off the left field wall. There's strike 1 for Lyles. Ibar has served his club well at shortstop. Bunts out toward Altuve. Altuve with a quick flip on to first. Good idea, but he bunted it too hard, and it's out number 1.
Nice usage of the glove, hand together right there and make the play very quickly. Really, sometimes you see the guy trying to make that barehanded play out of a play where you don't need it, and this well done by Altuve.
Infield defense has been good for the Astros. Mike Trout's the batter. He hit a fly ball to right earlier. Trout just 21 years old from Vineland, New Jersey. He takes ball 1. He was in left field when the Astros were in Anaheim, but Peter Borges, who was the center fielder, is now on the disabled list. Trout played exceptionally well in center last year.
I can't imagine a guy making a grouping of greater plays than we saw from Trout last year. It was a magical season for this youngster with the Angels, but I was surprised this spring when Borges was named the center fielder, Trout moving to left. Not a little bit of prestige going with that center shot.
A liner to left. Coming over Grossman. Trout is he runs with a purpose. He's sliding by. When you watch this guy run, you're not going to see too many better than Mike Trout. He runs hard. He runs in a very straight line when possible, or he rounds the bag like Jeff Bagwell used to.
And a heck of a hitter on top of all that. But when he is running, and I don't really see what he's doing right here, but I can assure you he is digging up the earth.
There you go.
And as he goes around first base and starts heading towards second base, you get that body just angling forward. He's really special and a big guy.
Strike 2, Albert Pujols. He's just fun to watch because he plays the game so hard, puts so much effort into it.
Just picture him as an NFL player and put the football in his hands and watch him take off. Man.
Yeah, he'd be running over some linebackers as hard as he runs. Pujols with a strike. Ball's behind 0-2, and Trout is one of those guys who can steal third with 1 out. He is 5 for 6 in steals this year. Might not be doing it with Pujols batting, but last year he led the league with 49 steals, and he was caught only 5 times. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count to Albert Pujols, who's 33. Jeff Luhnow was looking for him to say hello before the game. They were together in the Cardinal organization. St. Louis drafted him in the 13th round at 99. Still amazing he went that low. I was asking Jeff, and his opinion is always interesting. All right, Albert Pujols versus Miguel Cabrera. He said, well, I was in Albert's camp until before last season, but I've got to say Cabrera's the better hitter right now. What he did last year and this year so far. Pujols is down on strikes. Pujols is not helpful. That's strikeout number 4, and these fans are loving it. They've seen him do so much damage here.
Thing is, for Albert Pujols, numbers have been in decline now. It may coincide with the fact that he's having a tougher and tougher time staying healthy, but Miguel Cabrera, for me, is the guy. You just can't say somebody else is better than him without getting a very strong argument against whatever you're trying to declare.
Trumbo ripped a 3-run homer in the first inning. Mark hit 32 of those last year for the Angels. And strike 1. Trumbo was born in Anaheim, California. Lives 10 minutes from the stadium. Grew up a fan of the Angels. They drafted him in the 18th round in 04. He was an all-star last year. Last year he played left field, right field, DH, first base, and third base.
Trumbo is a big man with the bat in this Angels order, and he's not a guy that most fans really count on because of the other big names, but he can crush you, and this is the home run he hit tonight. A towering drive, keeping it just fair and way out of here. He is a big man in that order.
He had 29 homers in 2011. Foul back. Jordan Lyles has done some of his best work here in this ballpark. He has 5 of his 7 career wins at Minute Maid Park. 21 career starts here with an ERA of 4.00.
Yeah, 61 dingers for Trumbo over a 2-year span, 2011 through 12.
Trumbo goes fishing for the curve, and he strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts for Lyles. It's 3-1 Angels after 2.5. The last few days we had a bit of a chilly snap when the homestand started, and a great night to look down from the roof of Union Station right onto that field. And they're seeing Brandon Barnes get ready to step into the batter's box.
Don't know how I feel about people looking down on us.
It's a great venue. Have you ever been up there?
I never have.
I'll have to set you up. Brandon Barnes at 327 with a homer and 6 runs batted in. Ground ball into left field. He jumped on the first pitch. And that single is hit number 3 for the Astros. Barnes, who began the night at 327, is aboard, and he can steal. He's 3 for 4.
Something about this guy, Brandon Barnes, that's kind of infectious and kind of fun to root for. Gets it going early with that semi-leg kick. Gets it sharply through the hole. Barnes has shown us that he's not afraid to run either on a green light.
Robbie Grossman grounded to shortstop earlier. Pujols is not really at the bag. He's a step in front of it. Not too sure why he's playing right there. Would you have a guess, Ash?
Could be a Mike Scioscia thing. It could be an Albert Pujols thing. I'm not really sure. Of course, Tony La Russa, an innovative manager, might have declared that this is a way he'd like to see Albert play it, but I don't recall Albert in years past.
There's a bunt by Grossman, and Conger juggles it. Everybody's safe. I was just going to say I thought maybe it was for a bunt possibility that he was trying to get a step closer to home plate, and then Grossman laid one down.
Very well may have been. That ability to hold the bag while being in a position to charge in early, but Albert wasn't charging on this play.
Nope.
Play that Conger knows he should make, even with the speed of Grossman going down the line. He gets so anxious to unload the throw, and lose the handle. That's what happens, though, as you barehandle on a baseball. So you just don't get the immediate right grip, and it creates problems.
It's ruled a sacrifice and an error on the catcher. And now Jimmy Paredes is up there. He grounded back to the pitcher. He showing butt. Now the throw goes to second, and that is juggled by Ibar, and Barnes just took off, and he would have been in big trouble had Ibar been able to pick up that one-hop throw from Conger. Barnes aggressively moving to third.
Yeah, sometimes being aggressive on the base paths pays off. But this bounce throw is what really sets up the problems, and problems the Astros love to see at this point. Part of what I'm sure Mike Scioscia is sitting in that third base dugout thinking, more of this, guys? You kidding me? Because when you talk to people about the Angels, they've said it's been all facets that have gone wrong for this club.
And that is an error on Conger. Which is a strike to Paredes. Jimmy hits one deep to left center field. Shuck back off the bullpen wall. Barnes scores. And here's Grossman getting a stop sign. And it's 3-2 on an RBI double by Paredes. Welcome back to the big leagues, Jimmy Paredes.
By no means would I imply that this is a ball that was easily, maybe should have been handled in left field. But that is such a tough angle. Left fielder unable to get back. Shuck maybe not completely familiar with what he's dealing with out there. As he finally went back, he had been beaten on the play. Yeah, that's tough in that angle, and Jimmy Paredes now paying off early.
No Shuck, the former Astro, didn't play a lot in left field when he was here. With that ball hit back behind him and over to his left, had to chase it down off the bullpen wall. Paredes picks up an RBI in his second at bat for the Astros this season to make it 3-2, and now 2 men in scoring position for Jose Altuve, who crushed a homer in the first. Pujols is off the line even with a bag at first with nobody out. Tops that one foul. There's strike one.
Angels willing to allow the Astros to tie the game on a ground ball to the infield. They don't want that base hit going through that enables Houston to pick up 2 on one swing here.
JD Martinez is on deck. In tight to Altuve.
This is what can happen with a veteran pitcher as he ages a bit. There may be a pitch that was once key for his success, the cutter for C.J. Wilson, now starting to be hit better and better with each season.
Foul ball makes it 1-2. Angel pitching staff with that 4.78 ERA. 14th best in the American League, has really struggled. Wilson is expected to be one of their mainstays. So is Jared Weaver, but he's on the disabled list with a broken left elbow. Altuve flicks it foul. Just got a tiny piece of it. That could be important. Tomorrow night at 7:10, it's Bud Norris and Joe Blanton. Thursday night at 7:10, it's Lucas Harrell and Jason Vargas. And the Texas Rangers are here over the weekend. 281 for Altuve with runners in scoring position, 2 for his last 18 after just lighting it up to start the season in these situations. The Astros as a team were hitting 226 with runners in scoring position at the start of this game. Tight, and that almost nicked him. 2-2. Talked earlier about Wilson's pitch count, and that has torpedoed him a few times this year. He threw 115 pitches against the Astros in 6 innings in Anaheim, giving up 1 run. Top to the shortstop, and here is the throw from Ibar. Not in time. Run scores to tie it. Back to third. No out there. And the Astros are scurrying around the bases here. It's an infield hit, an RBI for Altuve. And the Astros tie it 3-3.
And set up shot for more. And that speed of Altuve going down the line. Albert Pujols had to make a read. Do I stay back at first base and see about getting the out? Eventually he decided we don't have a shot. Altuve's gotten this play beaten, and you see Albert just leave the bag and try to get that throw set up for third base. It didn't pay off. But you can also see that Altuve would have beaten the play.
Well, the new number 3 hitter picks up his 2nd RBI of the game, 17th of the year, draws a throw with J.D. Martinez the batter. Nobody out, 1st and 3rd. Carlos Corcoran on deck. Martinez looking for his 2nd hit of the night. He went to right field for the double. Angels set up to turn 2. And that's ball 1. The Astros have struggled to score runs at home. They've hit .221 in this ballpark. They've averaged a little bit over 3 runs per game, scoring 52 runs in 16 games prior to tonight. Looking for more contact hitting, more speed on the bases. 1 ball, 1 strike, and just the ability to sustain innings, which they've had a problem doing with all the strikeouts. Cole Porter's club coming into this game had struck out 323 times in 32 games. Astros were outscored in the Detroit series, and they were swept in the 4-game set. Outscored 37-8. Justin Verlander pitching a very strong game in a 9-0 win Sunday. He had a no-hitter for 6 1/3 against them. They wound up with 4 hits. Fouled away, and it's 1-2. It's 3-3 now. The Angels came out firing with a 3-run 1st-inning homer by Mark Trumbo off Jordan Lyles. The Astros got an Altuve solo shot in the 1st, and they've scored twice to tie it here. With Bill Brown, Alan Ashby, and Julia Morales with you on a fine Tuesday night in downtown Houston.
I'm not sure I would leave the ball out over the plate for J.D. Martinez.
Conger able to hold that one for a strikeout on a foul tip. That was up and out number 1.
His power seems to be maybe the other way, and really likes to extend his arms.
Wilson gets the 1st out. Now it's Corcoran. Grounded to 2nd in the 1st inning, but this time he will really hope for a much better result with runners at 1st and 3rd and 1 out. A hitter takes it upon himself to drive in this run from 3rd with 1 out in the inning. Corp has gotten off to an excellent start this year. Terrific offensive numbers. He's hit .333 against lefties this season. Fouls it back. There's strike 1. Wilson has been among the stingiest in the American League in allowing homers the last 3 years. 2nd lowest in home runs allowed last 3 years combined by pitchers who have worked 200 innings in each of those 3 seasons. He worked 202 innings last year. And he throws to 1st. The Angels have allowed 23 steals in 27 tries. 10-game homestand, the longest of the year for the Astros. Now it's 0-2. And Carlos is going to have to fight for contact here. Chris Carter on deck. Both the starting rotations really trying to come out of the doldrums. The Angels 7-14 with a 4.95 ERA. Time call. And the Astros 7-18 with a 6.53. Corp looks at one upstairs, and it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, these are two teams not challenged by one aspect of the game, but challenged by all of them.
Jay Happ had to leave for Toronto against the Rays. He took a line drive off his head tonight. A little foul ball gets into the seats. Camera well. Still 1-2 as Carlos Corcoran fights to remain alive and get a pitch he can handle. Judy wind up with that one. No, not quite.
Told her to bring her glove.
I need a glove.
You had a shot.
I need a glove.
You did as well as that guy on the other side of the dugout, Julia.
Oh, come on. Come on, Ronnie. It wasn't that bad.
Okay, sorry. You've got to catch a foul ball for Mom. She'll be here this weekend.
She would love that.
How would you feel about Mom going after a shot coming her way? Would you recommend she not do it?
She's athletic. She'd be all over it.
I was expecting you to say she needs to be a little careful, and I was going to say that's how we feel for you down there.
Oh, I'm always watching.
He chased and struck out. That's number 4, and a big out for Wilson here with nobody moving on the plate.
Come on out to Minute Maid Park. May 25th. That's the date we'd love to see our annual Bayou Bash presented by Louisiana Association of Convention and Visitor Bureaus, with a special thanks to Budweiser. First pitch against the A's is at 6:10. But come on out early for the live music, crawfish, and a whole lot more. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS to get your tickets now.
That's always a big time here. Chris Carter worked the count full, hit a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Big at bat here for Chris. And the throw goes over. Carter has struck out 51 times. That's tops in the American League. He's a .300 career hitter against the Angels with 3 homers. He's driven in 5 against them. Jeff Luhnow feels that Chris has been victimized by some tough calls with 2 strikes in the count. He said a lot of the times he has struck out. Those pitches have not been good pitches to swing at. Astros remain confident that Chris will do his share of damage, and they'll stick with him. He probably won't be playing as much outfield from this point forward, Bo Porter said. It's 1-1. So he can play first and DH and get at bats that way.
I think those are the best options for Chris Carter. Not that he did a poor job in left field, he didn't. But I don't know that he was challenged a whole lot in left field either.
Hunter takes off for second. There's a rocket to left field. That's a shot that is in the seats. A 3-run homer for Chris Carter, number 7. And the Astros grab the lead, 6-3. The club leader now has clubbed 7 home runs. He's driven in 17.
It is so nice when you're able to get those big 2-out run producers, and this is a huge one.
Especially after those 2 strikeouts, Ash.
There's Chris Carter getting that high cheese and turning it around very quickly. Nice stuff.
Now a 6-3 ball game, and here's Cedeno batting. Cedeno looks at ball one. 7th home run of the season for Chris. 17 runs batted in. He ties Altuve for the club lead. 2nd home run in this ballpark for him. 335 footer. It wasn't obvious off the bat that that ball would reach the seats. Didn't look like a ball that he absolutely drilled, but he certainly got plenty of it. 2 balls, no strikes. There's a high pop up. Conger over. You know, line drives in this park, though, to that part of the field are quite often home runs. Sometimes they're off the top of the wall, too, but it wasn't one of those high, majestic shots that we've seen him hit either.
Of course, the line drive from Chris Carter, whether he hits it with everything he has or not, tends to carry a bit more than line drives off the bats of other hitters.
Sure does. There's a man with some immense power. Foul by Cedeno. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And the Astros have clubbed a couple of long balls in this game. Altuve and Carter now for 4 of their 6 runs. They were playing some small ball when the inning started with a Grossman bunt, and then with Barnes taking off for 3rd and making it on the error. And quite often we remember 3-run homers, but other little things can get lost in the shuffle too in a big 5-run inning such as this one. Altuve infield hit. Big part of what happened here. Cedeno takes a stroll, and that's the first walk for Wilson.
I don't think any of us know yet what Chris Carter might be able to do, but I find myself thinking of Dave Kingman a bit, and a guy that hit a ton of home runs, but a guy who struck out a load and low batting average on top of that, but he drove in a lot of runs because of his power.
True. J-Max was impressed. Matt Dominguez struck out in the 2nd inning. He's the 9th Astro to bat here. Justin was going to get an examination on his broken bone in his left hand, by the way. We haven't heard anything further on that. Don't know if it happened today or not. Strike 1 to Matt. There was a report a day or 2 ago that hand seemed to be healing a little bit ahead of schedule. Strike makes it 0-2 for Wilson. And he's run into a problem with pitches thrown in this inning. He's at 60 for the game now. 43 have been strikes. 27 in this inning for Wilson. Threw 123 in his last game and 6 1/3 against Oakland. He won that game 5-4, giving up 2 runs in 6 1/3 innings. And Dominguez strikes out. Oh, Wilson did strike out 3, but he gave up 5 runs. 3 on this swing by Carter. The Astros taking a 6-3 lead. Scored 5 runs in the third inning, only one of them earned. Nonetheless, they take a 6-3 lead. Moving to the fourth inning, Jordan Lyles on the mound against Josh Hamilton. Hamilton struck out earlier. That's strike 1 to him. Kendrick and Callaspo to follow. Hamilton, the first player drafted in '99 by Tampa Bay. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He has been swinging at more pitches out of the strike zone than anybody in the early going this season. 1-2. Here's early BP.
And we're talking Albert Pujols and Josh Hamilton and the extra work. You grind and grind, and a lot of times it goes unnoticed by fans, obviously, but you put in countless hours trying to get that swing together. To this point, it has not paid off for Josh Hamilton, that's for certain.
Ground ball to second. Altuve down on a knee. 1 out. Well, Jordan Lyles now has been handed this nice 3-run lead. He's done his part to give the Astros a chance to get back in it after giving up 3 in the first with only 1 out in that inning. And he retired 6 in a row before the Trout double in the third. And now since then 3 in a row, going through their 3, 4, 5 hitters and moving along to Howie Kendrick, who struck out earlier. Kendrick looks at ball 1. Swings through the fastball to make it a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Kendrick was a 10th round pick in '02. 292 career major league hitter. That one's fouled off, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Another foul ball keeps the count at 1-2 for Jordan Lyles. Many thought he would be the Astros' number 3 starter, but that did not work out. Spring training did not go well for him. He started the year AAA Oklahoma City, now returned in a very good start last time for Bo Porter. Top to third, Matt Dominguez takes care of out number 1. And Bo, out number 2 rather. Bo wanted to get him out of that game with the 3-2 lead and give him a positive feeling after Jordan went 5. Jordan thought he was good to go a couple more maybe.
Got our pitch by pitch presented by Steel Dealers. As Jordan Lyles works his way with Howie Kendrick, starts him with the hook, trying to get that started that way. Came back with a heater, and it was at 94. Fastball up in the zone after a little slider.
Callaspo takes, and there's ball 1 to him.
Eventually got Howie Kendrick on a fastball in on the hands, tied him up.
Changeup floated outside. Callaspo looking at ball 2. Now it's a 3-ball, no-strike count. Quite often a third baseman's a big slugger. Callaspo goes against that mold. He's 30 years old, from Venezuela. And he takes a 4-pitch walk. Second walk for Lyles. He won't like that one when he reviews the tape afterwards. Hank Conger is next. Conger struck out in the second.
I like to see that fastball get up to 94. He's done it a time or two tonight. It's not like he lives at that velocity, but he does have that ability.
He retired 4 in a row and then just lost it with a 4-pitch walk. Now Conger gets a chance to bat with the shift on. Ball 1 to Conger, who struck out in the second inning. And this is a good time for a visit from Corp after 5 straight balls. He seemed to be in a pretty good groove, and now it can come and go, Ash.
Can come and go within innings sometimes in a ball game. Talk about the average velocities. Jordan Lyles at just under 92 miles an hour with the fastball, and then he varies things. That slider is a good hard slider at 86. Changeup has been effective. So he's got the arsenal.
Pulled off the glove of Carter. He'll get back to first base and get the out. 3 unassisted. And in the fourth, it's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. It's 6-3 Houston.
Top 6-3 over the Angels. Celebrate Mother's Day with Pink in the Park at Minute Maid Park this weekend. Astros facing off against the Rangers. 10,000 fans will receive a pink giveaway each night, courtesy of the Methodist Cancer Center. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to get your tickets today. Brownie was asking about Justin Maxwell. We'll ask and you shall receive. I talked to him before the game. He got the results back. He is progressing very well. He actually had the cast removed. He is now in a splint, and he can start doing some hand strengthening exercises and hoping to hold a bat here, if not this week, the next. So things going well for him. He even taught me some of those hand strengthening exercises. I was doing them earlier.
You can try some with a rubber ball?
Yes, there's putty. He was teaching me. Learned a little something about the hand.
Good. Well, Ash likes to do that when he's doing a ball game.
I'm going to start running when Julia comes around. I'm not going to get myself body slammed.
Brandon Barnes led off the last inning with a single and came around to score. He's got a 2-0 here. That's a strike, 2-1.
Let's see if this paid off for Julia. Just exercise and wisdom, I think, paid off right there.
That's good form.
Yeah, to get out of the way.
Yeah, it's very good form, Julia.
You know what? Always protect the computers.
Whoops.
2 balls, 2. Yeah, watch it. Don't be looking away. As you said, you watch the field all the time when you're down there.
I do.
And we've seen a few folks who haven't watched it and they wish they had. So what sports did you play, Julia?
Volleyball, basketball, and I ran some track.
Oh.
Went to a small school, so you know we could do everything.
440?
I ran the 300 hurdles.
Oh.
Why did I run that race?
That is a really good question.
I could have gone to the smallest school on earth and never would have been accused of being able to do everything.
My dad was actually a track coach, so I had no choice.
Oh. Robbie Grossman continued what Barnes started with his single as Robbie dropped down a bunt in the 3rd inning. He reached on an error by the catcher Conger, one of 2 Conger errors in the inning. Strike 1. So it seems the Astros offense is evolving now. It's more of a small ball type approach than it was. Check swing call there goes Grossman's way on the Bill Welke call. 1-1. That's Grossman's game, drawing walks, putting down bunts, slashing away, getting on base. That's Barnes's game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Crowe can play that game.
Yeah, I think Trevor Crow can fit in nicely. Obviously, you got to find a way to get him some playing time soon.
Strikeout. That's number 7.
That's all right, Robbie.
At Lowe's, we never stop improving, and neither does Jimmy Paredes. Looks like a much improved player. Last 3 seasons, he's gone from 270 to 318 to 366, improving that on-base average up to 433 and the OPS to 1,013 for Jimmy. Of course, that's a small sample this year, but nonetheless, that's why he's here, because he put up that small sample. He had the RBI doubled in the 3rd after grounding back to the mound. Strike 1 to Jimmy, who came from the New York Yankees to the Astros in a trade.
Does he have the kind of excuse me, pop that makes him a corner outfielder?
I would say that would be somewhat questionable, but he has doubles pop. No balls, 2 strikes. Do you count that as pop?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously you'd like, as a corner outfielder kind of guy, somebody who can drive the ball out of the ballpark as well, and maybe he's still kind of filling out.
He was in the Lance Berkman trade in July of 2010 from the Yankees. In 2011 here, he had 168 at bats, 2 home runs for Houston, hit 10 at Corpus Christi that year. Last year, 13 at Oklahoma City and 507 at bats in the PCL. He's only 24. He can put on some weight. Fouls it right back here. Oh, the fans below us got a hand on it. Couldn't hold it. Bad night for foul ball catches.
That didn't look like a hand that was trying to catch a ball. It looked like he was considering a little handball slap at it.
Volleyball action, maybe?
Yeah.
Paredes might reach on this strikeout. Conger cannot get to it in time to get him at first base. That's a strikeout, and then we'll wait and see what the ruling is, whether it be a wild pitch. It looked like the ball bounced. It is a wild pitch.
Yeah, you see that breaking ball in the dirt. Conger tried to get out there, glove coming up, body stiffening, and that tends to create problems. And nice alert jump there by Jimmy Paredes.
That's the first wild pitch of the year by Wilson. And it brings up Jose Altuve. So any way Paredes can get on, even via strikeout, works to get Altuve to the plate. He's 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. Bounce to the second. Down on a knee, Kendrick. And on over to Pujols. And it's no runs, no hits, and a man left after 4. 6-3 Astros. With the ability to win for the first time for the Astros this year.
Jordan Lyles got touched up early in the ballgame. That changeup can be so effective. He can also bring the high heater by an Albert Pujols. Not a bad sign. The hook right over the top, and it's adding up. He's picking up the strikeouts again tonight. Had 6 in 5 innings last time out. And now picking him up again. Second time through the order. Changes the way he works the ball game. That changeup becomes a much larger factor. The fastball less so.
J.B. Shuck is the batter, leading off the 5th inning. 6-3 Astros. Shuck grounded back to Lyles. Showing bunt. He takes a strike. Shuck can play the small game, more of a line drive type hitter. Shoots one deep to right field, though. Paredes back on it. Paredes leaping, and he misjudged it. It's over his head and off the wall on one hop. Shuck in with a double, his 3rd of the year. Well, this is American League Baseball right here with a lot of slugging, Ash.
It's going on hard and strong. I've got a little problem with my ear thing, but yeah, both clubs swinging the bats well tonight. And obviously Jordan Lyles has a tough assignment trying to keep things here now with the lead.
Leadoff double. Looked like that perhaps Paredes could have caught that. He might have jumped a little bit too soon, but Shuck is at second, and now it's Ibar. Ibar doubled in the 1st, and then he bunted into an out in the 3rd inning. That's ball 1. Trout on deck, and then Pujols. So any play not made against the number 9 1 or 2 hitters can really reverberate for a pitcher against the middle of this Angel lineup, whether they're currently productive or not. The threat is certainly there. That's a strike, and Ibar has a 1-ball 1-strike count. Two balls and a strike. The Astros have to make a decision on a starter for Friday. Bo Porter not ready to announce that yet. Phil Humber pitched Sunday against Detroit. Gave up 8 hits and 8 runs in 4 innings. And he is now 0-7. An 8.82 ERA for his 7 starts. Eric Bedard has gone to the bullpen with an 0-2 record, a 7.36 ERA. So the Astros will be naming a starter in Bedard's spot in the lineup. Haven't heard anything about Humber's spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phil got a nice honor yesterday, though, at Rice University at Reckling Park. Coach Wayne Graham of the Owls showing him that plaque that they unveiled in honor of Phil's perfect game against the Angels last year, giving the Rice Owls yet another feather in their cap for all the pitchers they have produced for Major League Baseball.
April 21st was the date, and it's been a rough ride since.
That's strike 3, a big call for Lyles. Strikeout number 6 for Jordan.
Comes right in on the hands, gets the call that's tough to get. Watch this fastball run its way back to the edge. Does it get there? Yes, it does, in the opinion of Brian O'Nora, and his is the only opinion that counts.
Mike Trout with a fly ball to right and a double to left comes around for the 3rd time. That is strike 1 to Trout.
That's nice if you're going to come with that first pitch fastball and throw a strike to a dangerous hitter. Put it right on the black.
Trout's batting average has come up from 252 to 275, going 9 for 24. Trout leads the Angels in runs, steals, doubles, triples, runs batted in, and multi-hit games. That one moves him back.
It's hard to believe those numbers that Trout put up a year ago happened without starting with the ball club at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it really is. Wound up with 30 bombs in the big leagues. Mike's father Jeff played in the Minnesota Twins minor league system. Fly ball goes into the seats, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Probably gave his son some kind of advice like, now when you get to the big leagues, it's not going to be all that easy. Give it to yourself, Dad.
Yeah, son, don't expect to come to the big leagues in your rookie season and lead the league in runs scored and steals.
Think somebody's going to consider you for the MVP award.
Finished second in that voting to a Triple Crown winner. That one hit him, and Trout was not initially headed for first base on the 1-2 pitch. He's hit by it. So now 2 men on and 1 out for Pujols.
Yeah, let's watch this fastball run up and in. Did it hit hand? Did it hit knob of bat? Pretty tough to tell. I might go with knob of bat.
Yeah. Now Doug Brocail comes out with Pujols the batter.
What you hear up at home plate is that little double sound. One is the glove, the catcher's glove, and the other is a little preceding sound. And it's awfully tough, if not impossible, to figure out which. Well, it hits something, and usually it's the hands or the arms.
Even though Albert Pujols got off to such a rugged start last year, he wound up with 30 homers, 105 runs batted in. He's the only player to hit 30 home runs or more in his first 12 seasons as a big leaguer. And he's the only player to reach 400 homers in his first 10 seasons. He walked and rode home on the Trumbo 3-run homer in the first. He struck out in the third with a runner at second. Albert now with his 5 home runs this season has hit 480 in his career.
Watch this ball. Yeah, it hits right on the knob of the bat. And I don't know that you could fault an umpire. You just hear that double sound, and the assumption is, as it most often hits a hand or arm, that the hitter was hit.
Brian O'Nora made the call. Don't the umpires a lot of times go by body language from the hitter?
Yeah, I think that factors in, and clearly Trout showed no indication that he'd been hit.
No, he did not.
And we saw for good reason. Although as he started up the first base line, he did take a glance at his hand like, man, that hurts now.
Pujols fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the count was 1-2 when he got hit by the pitch, and he acted like he wanted to stay up there and hit.
Spring training usually guys do, even if it does hit them. Give me one more at bat here.
But that for batting average since 2008.
You can see the slide though, and with 8 more years after this year on the contract for Pujols, what are the Angels seeing? Last year he put up very nice numbers when it was all said and done. A horrible month of April got it going, but they weren't the kind of numbers you saw from Pujols 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Now it's 3-1. Miles appears to be getting tentative, and he has Trumbo to deal with next. Shucks the runner at second, and Trout at first. Both run well. Barnes is in left center field for Pujols. He calls time now. In the air, and the right fielder Jimmy Paredes comes over toward the line. Runners are not tagging, and it's too shallow for that. 2 outs.
You never know what you might win, but here's how you can try. Just watch Sportsnet Central every night in May at 10 p.m. or after the game to learn our word of the night. Then log on to csnhouston.com for a chance to win cash, prizes, and more. Play words on CSN every night in May.
Ooh.
You been playing that, Bronny?
Not yet. Just heard about it. Let's play. Mark Trumbo with a 3-run homer in the first.
I'm already deep into the game.
Okay. Sorry to bother you with these promos and everything. I know you're deep into the game.
Thanks for your consideration. Nice.
Strike. Yes, it was. And Lyles really needs that. He needs A, to get in front of the hitter, and B, just to know that he has that kind of command to hit a corner.
Yep. And with something other than just a fastball.
Ooh. 0-2.
And again, two very well spotted breaking balls. Look at this location. Makes all the difference in the world if you can spot it right out there on the edge. This one a little higher than the first of the two.
You try to climb the ladder with a fastball now?
Could come up and in. Of course, you always run the risk of nipping a hand or an arm there on the hitter, but good way to own the zone.
1-2. So these words on CSN, Ash, what time of night are we hearing those? Do we know?
Well, I think I just said 10.
10. Okay.
But you know, I wouldn't guarantee it. I was only the reader, just the messenger.
Keuchel is getting loose.
And it's what you call a cold read.
Cedeno to his left with the toss to Altuve to end the 5th inning threat. No runs a hit, 2 men stranded, and the Astros lead it 6-3. Three to nothing after 1/2 inning. They got an Altuve homer in the first. They got 5 runs in the 3rd inning to grab the 6-3 lead. Jordan Lyles has held on to that lead. Now they look for more here in the home 5th inning against C.J. Wilson. J.D. Martinez has a double and a strikeout. And lines this one to left. Shuck over. Woo! The lights might have gotten him there. One hard hit out.
J.D. Martinez has hung out a shot to right field for a double, and now this one to left field with a strikeout in between. So a couple of very good at bats.
Carlos Corporán takes a little extra time after that 1 pitch out. Of course, he had to get his gear off from catching the top of the inning too. Ah, you catchers, Ash, we're always waiting for you guys.
It's tough to de-gear.
What's about the fastest you can de-gear?
Any more?
Yeah.
I actually could get arrested if I even put the gear on.
Okay.
So I can't. Hard for me to respond to that.
Strike to Corp. He's 0 for 2. Seemed like you were always taking on, putting on, and taking off. Your shin guards and protector. All the gear you have to put on.
Don't forget the golf glove or the batting glove that you had to wear with, and it was never the one that you hit with, so you had to go back and forth. Oh, it was just too much to deal with.
It's a whole night of equipment for you guys. It's always the equipment, isn't it?
Of course, then when I was wearing the hitting shin guard, and I had to figure out which shin it went on, and I mean that was a challenge.
Switch hitter, yeah. So you had a lot of things to do there, other than play ball.
There was a whole lot going on.
A lot of gear stuff going on with you. So you want to be a catcher, kids.
So when I heard people say gear up, multiple meanings.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a wonder after putting on this gear and taking it off, you can get up there and concentrate on your hitting. Then you've got to call the game.
And you're saying that to me after having watched what I did?
Well, that was a long time ago. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that looked like strike 3, didn't it?
Looked like for a moment Brian O'Nora thought a second time about, well, maybe I'll just throw up that strike right now.
Looks like he was going to do the Leslie Nielsen moonwalk. He raised up.
Right there, he didn't like it, but he got up, and then that right arm got limber.
Strikeout number 8. Number 9 now.
Yeah, you think Leslie Nielsen actually did that himself?
I doubt it. It looked good, though. 9 punch outs for Wilson. Cool refreshment there as Chris Carter bats. He ripped a 3-run homer to the Landry's Crawford boxes in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. Wilson missing outside with ball 1. It's a 1 ball 1 strike count.
I bet there was a time when just after that movie came out when a lot of umpires, minor league and major league, thought, you know, there's got to be a point at which I can pull that off in a ball game. Don't you think?
Yeah. 2-1.
Because there was always the danger they really couldn't moonwalk. They just thought they could.
Third, Caspo. The Pools, and in the 5th inning it goes quickly for the Astros, but they lead it 6-3.
At 3, the Astros are in town through the week and into the weekend against the Angels and the Texas Rangers. Don't miss any of the AL West action. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to get your tickets now. It's time for Progressive Fan of the Game. I've got this awesome goodie bag that I'm going to give to Anderson, my big fan of the game. Anderson, this isn't the first goodie that you've gotten. What else? What do you got in your pocket over there? Show me what you got. What is it?
Baseball.
How did you get it?
Daddy Daddy gave it to me.
But where did it come from?
Out there.
All right, well, you're going to get this as well as your baseball. Congratulations, Anderson. Have a good time, guys.
Oh, Anderson's in for some good times. You're right. We go to the sixth inning, and now as the Angels bat, it's not against Jordan Lyles, who's been taken out of the game, but Dallas Keuchel comes in relief to face Josh Hamilton. Hamilton fouling it for strike one. Hamilton's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball.
Were we just playing what's in Anderson's pocket?
I think we were.
Yeah, Dad got the deflection. There you go, Pops.
Ground ball, and here's Altuve in right field, coming in to throw out Hamilton. So the shift works perfectly for out number one. Jordan Lyles threw 82 pitches tonight. 50 were strikes in 5 innings. He allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, walking 2, fanning 6, and hitting a batter, but not really because he hit the knob of the bat. Now it's Kendrick. He's 0 for 2. When we interpret our statistics here, they strike one.
What a big asterisk by that one. We'll get a ruling after the game.
Just imagine if somebody's trying to lead the league and hit that fly ball left field. This one's hit a long way. And looking up, Grossman watches it bang off that archway, and that's a long home run. Kendrick hitting number 5 to get a run back very quickly for the Angels and make it 6-4 Astros. 17 runs batted in for Howie Kendrick.
That was the big boy. Breaking ball down, and Howie Kendrick did not get fooled a bit. This guy's a good player. Not a whole lot of folks hear about him. But that's launching it pretty well.
There's a strike now to Callaspo. He's 0 for 1. Kendrick has made it a 2-run lead for the Astros. Callaspo, another switch hitter, puts one in the air to right field. Paredes tracking it. 2 down. Well, Lyles once again in a position to win a game for the 2nd straight start, leaving after 5. Turning it over to a Houston bullpen with a 1-6 record and a 4.85 ERA. Miles Keuchel's in his 2nd stint with the Astros this season. Faces Hank Conger. Conger's 0 for 2. Keuchel was among those possibilities to be the Friday night starter against the Rangers. He delivers a strike. Paul Clemens would be another. Travis Blackley. Jose Cisnero. That's a looper into right field. A hit for Conger. And that'll bring up Schuck. Mike Scioscia with these switch hitters, and Conger comes through from the right side. Schuck doubled to right field in the 5th inning over the head of Jimmy Paredes. He's 1 for 2. Michael pitched against Detroit 5 days ago. Liner short, caught by Cedeno. That one really smacked, and Schuck hits into out number 3. 1-run scoring on 2 hits and a man left. The Kendrick homer brings the Angels to within 2, 6-4. Sportsnet is brought to you by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. And the Chipotle Chicken Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. It is one enjoyable night for baseball here in downtown Houston, Texas. Traffic looks pretty busy out there, Ash. A lot of folks on the streets of downtown.
Let's get that to clear out a little bit, and maybe an hour or so from now, Astros have put themselves in a position where they have been creating the traffic on the base paths tonight.
Orbit stepping gingerly through the crowd as Ronnie Cedeno bats and takes strike one. Cedeno struck out and he walked.
Come on, Ronnie. Nice catch out there. Now get it
Cedeno
started.
backs away, calls time. And Marwin Gonzalez sharing shortstop.
I was going to ask, any surprise on your part that Jordan Lyles didn't get a shot at a sixth inning tonight?
It's hard to say what's going on with how he feels and, you know, all the things we don't know, words that might have been exchanged, but 82 pitches. Yeah, a little bit.
Pretty solid outing after a rocky start in the first.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hector Ambry's warming up right now, but perhaps part of that decision is made by the fact that yesterday was a day off, so everybody's fresh in the bullpen. Kendrick hit a homer, and then he gave up a single to Conger, and that ball was not well hit, but the line drive to end the inning by Shuck, pretty well hit off Keuchel. That's a strikeout. So the Astros have 1 inning from Dallas, and Ibar, Trout, Pujols due up in the 7th. That might be all they get from Dallas tonight. That's 10 strikeouts now for Wilson. Matt Dominguez is swift both times tonight.
One more strikeout. Get it started.
That's in for a strike. 91 pitches for C.J. Wilson. Breaks off a curve, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's a season high for strikeouts for Wilson in a game, 10. He feels the comebacker, a little bit off balance, but he gets Dominguez. 2 outs.
I think Wilson got fooled on this ground ball, still made the play. C.J. Wilson is a guy who's making the good money, and they're running him out there and trying to make him earn that money. He'll throw a lot of pitches, 123 the season high that May 1st against the A's, but this guy is a workhorse now, and you can see 5 consecutive games over 100 pitches.
He faces Brandon Barnes with Mark Lowe warming up in the bullpen. Barnes fouls it back for strike 1. Brandon got the 5-run 3rd inning started with a single to left. He jumped on the first pitch in that at bat. Then he struck out looking in the 4th. Brandon grew up very close to Anaheim Stadium. Royals and Orioles are tied 3-3. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Baltimore. Both clubs with good records, 17-11 for Kansas City, 19-13 for Baltimore. No balls, 2 strikes. There's Mark Lowe. Alex Gordon hit his 4th home run for the Royals. Pirates 4, Mariners 1. That's a final from Pittsburgh. Pirates go to 18-14. Jenmar Gomez the winner over Aaron Harang. Jason Grilli got his 13th save.
We'll be looking at those Pirates up close and personal soon.
That's right. Garrett Jones hit his 4th homer. You like PNC Park, don't you?
It's a nice ballpark. The broadcast booth could be a little better situated if watching the ball game is what you went there for.
Well, why in the world would you do that? 1 and 2. Well, maybe you and Jeff Blum will get special treatment next week as you go to Pittsburgh after that 3-game series at Detroit. Well, you got a day game Wednesday and then get into Pittsburgh very early. That's a short trip, and then you have Thursday off. church pews are waiting.
What to do on that Thursday? Yeah, the church pews. I need to find out if there's a golf game to be had.
We're not talking about church on Thursday. We're
Not just any golf game either.
talking about Oakmont and the famed church pews bunkers.
Now you steer clear of those every time you play there, right?
I can't get out of them. there are special rules for golfers like me. Just drop out of those. Let's move things along here. There's another foursome waiting behind you. They don't want you in those church pews for 10-15 minutes.
He's a scratch player. Don't believe him.
Speaking of scratch players, Mr. Mark Langston, who is in the Angels radio booth, is one of the select groupies with Mike Scott in that foursome.
I actually played with those guys a few years back out west. I don't know. There must have been a group of guys sick or out of the country at that time.
Chop foul, third base side by Brandon Barnes, still 2-2.
Mike Scott is playing a lot of golf and enjoying life.
But between Mike and Vicky, who watches more baseball?
Oh, Vicky easily. Mike's a big hockey fan. Actually, they both are. They go out and support the Mighty Ducks.
Are they any good this year?
Have no clue. Not a clue.
Well, it's a shortened season. How could you be expected to follow?
You know, last year I was in there doing a little work, and Vicky showed up with some of the family. No Mike at the ballpark.
Barnes strikes out. That's 11 for Wilson, and through 6, he has stayed in the game and trails 6-4.
Top, we've got our AT&T tweet of the game from Nick Tropiano at Papa Tropiano. It says, at Folty 25, you're an absolute stud. And this is Fultonevich, Mike Fultonevich, pitching at Double-A and in his debut. Apparently he was so good that he has been studified.
Well,
5
9
innings,
strikeouts.
9 strikeouts. Yeah, good numbers. This guy has a good arm. We saw him in the spring, Brownie, and along with George Springer, some guys that provide a lot of hope for the future.
Dallas Keuchel throws, and it's ball 1 to Ibar leading off the 7th inning. Ibar led off the game with a double. He's 1 for 3. Eric now batting right, and the Angels switch hitters really go to work from both sides. He bunts, but it hit him, and he's out. Brian O'Nora with the out call, meaning that the ball hit Ibar in fair territory, but Mike Scioscia is out to argue the point.
Yeah, let's get a look at this, because I have never seen one of these where a guy got completely out of the batter's box. If he's in that box, it's a foul ball. So, well, I don't know.
He's out there.
Did he get himself out of the box? Where does it hit him?
He's in fair territory.
Yeah. Well, maybe a good call. And as he cleared out of the box.
He's going to check with Bill Welke, first base umpire. Yep, he's out. Confirmation. And I think all Socha was asking was, hey, could you check with somebody else? He's willing to accept the call, and he does. And Ibar is out, and the catcher would get the put out on that, 2 unassisted.
Tell you what happens with Ibar is he gets those feet shifting and shuffling forward before he ever makes contact with the baseball, and that provides a chance for him to. Now, did the ball hit him while he was still in the box? That's my question. I don't know. That's very close. That's a tough one.
If he's in fair territory, and some of that box is, then he is out. Now Hector Ambrose comes in with right-handed hitters Trout and Pujols. Trumbo due up. We'll be right back. To start 11 homers in the Texas League.
Gets a hold of this one. Watch where this lands. This is the big fly right there. And that's a rather wiry George Springer. Not a real big guy, but he has displayed a great deal of power.
First place Oklahoma City, first place Corpus Christi, first place Lancaster, second place Quad Cities, all off good starts.
Does that speak to good times to come?
We hope.
A lot of good baseball being played in the minors.
Now Mike Trout faces Hector Ambrose. Dallas Keuchel win an inning and a third, gave up 2 hits and a run, no walks, no strikeouts. Curveball from Ambrose, ball 1 to Trout. Trout has a double and he's been hit by a pitch. Ambrose 0-1 with a .460 earned run average. Pitched in 3 games in a row recently. It's a 2-ball no strike count. He pitched in the final game of the Yankees series and then the first 2 games of the Tigers series here. And he's pitched well in all 3 of those. Did not give up any runs. He had leads of 3-2 in the 8th inning in both of those games against Detroit. Friday and Saturday went 2/3 of an inning, gave up no hits, no runs in both. But the Astros lost both later on. It's 2 balls and a strike. His last outing was Friday. And he has had a heavy workload, so hopefully the few days off allow him to be strong in this one tonight. He's tied for 10th in appearances with 15 in the American League. Shot to right field. Paredes settles under it. Warning track. 2 down. Well, Keuchel left after getting Ibar with the big right-handed mashers coming up next. And now it's Pujols. Pujols 0 for 2 with a walk. Pujols on Monday hit his 46th career multi-home run game. Cheated on that swing. There's strike 1 to him.
That cheat means he's looking fastball, bat starts early, and he doesn't get the heater and no way to hold the bat back.
Right-handed hitters are hitting .243 against Hector Ambriz. That's there for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Sneaks the fastball right by after that leadoff slider.
Ambriz is from Orange, California. He went to UCLA. Swing and a miss. Great location there for Ambriz. He carved up Pujols on 3 pitches for a strikeout to send this game to the bottom of the 7th with the Astros over the Angels 6-4.
Today, watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality. That's with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere.
6-4, the Astros lead it. They come up in the home 7th. Fans settling back into their seats after their 7th inning stretch, and it's Robbie Grossman. He is 0 for 2, reached on an error. The sac bunt. Now a slicing line drive to right. He extends his hitting streak to 8 games.
Well, he's finding a way to get on base. You talked about the 8-game hitting streak. He hasn't been spectacular through any of it, but just getting that job done that you want. Well, that's nice when you can carve it the other way like this. Stays back. This right side of the plate, I think he stings the ball a little bit more often than he has from the left anyway.
His 13th straight start to board for Jimmy Paredes, who is 1 for 3 in RBI. Grossman drawing some attention there with a Wilson throw. Wilson was not easy at all for base runners last year. Dave Tremblay coaching at third. Wilson allowed 22 steals and 34 tries last year. Paredes tried to push a bunt and he missed for strike 1. Not a bad play. It could be a sacrifice. It could go as a base hit if he can get it by the left-handed pitcher.
I wonder if this bunting game was part of his game in the minor leagues this year.
We'll have to check on that. Swinging away, hit that RBI double in the 3rd.
Looks like an infield.
Well, he's played 2nd. He's played 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Astros plan to make him an outfielder this time around, it would appear.
Infielder or center fielder, the guy who goes and gets it, and you don't count on the big power from him.
And the throw goes over on Grossman. But with these two in front of Altuve. This is the different look Astros tonight. Grossman leading off, Paredes batting second.
I like it.
And they can work the running game here at the top of the lineup if they get on base.
I think Altuve, excuse me again, is very capable of driving in runs.
Runner going. Foul back. Good cut by Paredes.
And if you can get these guys on base and give Altuve that opportunity to drive in runs, you saw it back in the first inning. He took full advantage.
Tremblay with signs. Paredes was walking a lot more this year than he did last year at Oklahoma City. He had 14 walks in 30 games. Last year he had 22 walks all season, 124 games. Slashes that one away, and it's still a 1-2 count. Jimmy's from the Dominican Republic. Altuve on deck. Wilson with 11 strikeouts has a high in a game this season. And he had not allowed a hit since the third when the Astros got 5 runs on 4 hits. He had pitched 3 hitless innings until the base hit by Grossman here. And now he's checking him again with a throw. I'll say this for him, with 106 pitches, he has stayed in this ball game after giving up that 5 spot. Only one of the runs earned in that third inning. Runner going again. Here's the throw from Conger, bouncing, and that gets him in there. The pitch was tough to handle, and that threw off his mechanics, I think, for the throw, and Grossman gets his first steal as a major leaguer.
Well, can this be part of his game? He's certainly aided by this throw bouncing into the bag, but he was going to make it close one way or the other.
Grossman moves over, and the count's 2-2 on Paredes. That could be a really important stolen base. #1 of Robbie's major league career. Foul back. Paredes hacking away there.
You know, you really want to lay off that high fastball. That's the second time Jimmy's gone after one. But if you can't make yourself lay off, and I've never met a hitter who could lay off all of those, you want to be able to at least get a piece, and he's doing that.
Right. Flips that one out of play. Well, you know, the idea is, and Grossman has done this, he's been on base a couple of times tonight, once on an error. And Paredes has been on a couple of times, once on a strikeout and wild pitch. It doesn't really matter. But to put that traffic on base, give the guys in the middle a chance to drive in some runs. The Astros are 13th in on base average in a 15-team American League. So that would be giving them a lift, really. They're 3 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. They came into this game hitting .226 as a team with runners in scoring position. So if they could just make things more difficult for the pitchers out there, get more base runners, put them in the stretch more often, go first to third, steal a base here and there, that could really help their attack. Paredes strikes out. 1 out for Wilson with his 12th strikeout.
Yeah, all of that would go a long way to helping on the offensive side. Clearly, the biggest problem to this point for the Astros has been the pitching side, and starters in particular. And then you get Jordan Lyles stepping out there and doing a nice job for a second start now with the ball club, and that should at least give you that feeling that you're starting to move in the right direction with the pitching staff.
Exactly. That ties Wilson's career high for 12 strikeouts in a game. Intentional walk here for Altuve to work to J.D. Martinez and set up a double play.
Well, that's Mike Scioscia screaming out saying, look, we don't want to face this guy in this scenario.
That's a show of respect. This will be the second intentional walk to Altuve. It'll be Jose's 11th walk of the year. Well, he's He's earned this respect, and that's indicative of his importance to this team. And with the situation now, it will be a double play situation with Martinez.
He earns it night in, night out. Right? He's really something.
Now Mike Scioscia will stride toward the mound. He's had a right-hander, Mark Lowe, warming up, and it would appear after 114 pitches by C.J. Wilson, this is the time for him to take the ball from C.J. Exactly what he does. And with 2 on and 1 out here in the home 7th inning, 6-4 Houston will depart for this. On and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning, and right-hander Mark Lowe comes in to face J.D. Martinez. Lowe, formerly with Seattle and Texas, was born in Houston. He comes in here now with J.D. Martinez 1 for 3, and he in 7 games is 1-0 with an 11.37 ERA. Just activated from the disabled list yesterday. He was out with a left neck strain and missed 16 games.
C.J. Wilson, well, he gives up those unearned runs early in the ball game, but it's right now, as things stand, likely to cost him his first loss of the season.
Only 2 of the runs earned that he has allowed. J.D. Martinez doubled to right in the first. He struck out in the 3rd. He lined to left in the 5th inning.
Come on, JD, get him around.
2 really good at bats tonight. Kendrick went to second base. Now the runners take off. Here's Conger spiking the throw, and it's loose down in foul territory. And now here's a run scoring, and here's Altuve coming to the plate, and the throw to the plate. He is out. What a throw from J.B. Shock in foul territory on one hop to Hank Conger. But now here's Mike Scioscia coming out. Let's see what this discussion is all about as the Astros have run number 7 home.
That was a great throw, as you say, Brownie. It was also a terrific play by Conger to glove this and apply a quick tag. Conger has some problems going on with his right hand, as if maybe he hit the bat, and I couldn't tell. But a rough night for Conger as he has his 3rd error on the night. Third baseman pointing as if now the hitter doesn't have to get out of the way. He owns the box right there. So as a catcher, when you're clearing out behind, it's up to you to do the entire job clearing out.
Altuve hustling, and he's thrown out from 7-2.
I like that effort, and that really takes a whale of a play. For a catcher, that is not easy at all.
Well, Grossman got his 2nd steal. But then Altuve, trailing the play, is thrown out from 7-2. So it's a double steal. Altuve getting his 3rd of the year. And then Shuck came up with that big play and a nice tag, as you pointed out, by Conger for the second out. But it's 7-4 as the Astros make something happen with their legs. And that was strike one to J.D. Martinez.
Let's take another look at that throw by Conger. He's got to clear back behind the hitter. And as he goes to throw, he hits right on the bat. Now keep in mind, that hitter has no requirement to get out of the way. As long as he's not doing anything out of the norm, he hasn't done anything wrong. And Conger just throws it right into the barrel of the bat.
1-2. Yeah, sometimes you see a right-handed batter duck, but that's not really advisable. Did he tag him?
Debatable from that angle.
Yeah. Well, Nora said he did. So 3 steals tonight now for the Astros, or make it 3 steals. Ties their high. And J.D. Martinez is down on strikes. After 7, the Astros lead at 7-4. A moment away. Tomorrow night, Altuve and the Astros take on Pujols and the Angels in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Astros pregame live kicks things off at 6:30 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Chevron brings you tomorrow's pitching matchup, brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. It's Joe Blanton looking for win number 1, and Bud Norris, his mound opponent, is 3-3 with a 3.89 ERA. Tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
3.89 ERA. He has actually pitched quite well, and last time out pitching like the ace of the staff, having a good time.
He won't be smiling like that 24 hours from now.
Yeah, you hope he is at the end of the ball game.
That's true.
He lives at large.
Big Golden State Warriors fan. 15,266 the paid attendance. Here's Mark Trumbo. And that's strike one with lefty Travis Blackley warming up in the Astros bullpen. Trumbo hit the 3-run homer in the first inning, and he struck out in the third and bounced into a forced play in the fifth. After 4 batters in the game, the Angels were up 3-0. Now they trail 7-4. It's 0-2 for Hector Ambrose, looking sharp tonight. C.J. Wilson threw 114 pitches, 79 were strikes. He went 6 1/3 innings, allowing 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 earned, walking 2 and fanning 12 to tie a career high. In for strike 3. Second strikeout for Ambrose.
Missed his target by a wide margin, but wound up with the ball right through the heart of the plate. Watch Corcoran reach right back toward the plate and just kind of hold it there.
Josh Hamilton comes up next. The Astros shift around on the right side of the infield. Altuve heads out to right field. Now he's looking in at the bench. Now he's going to move back to his right. Hamilton looks at ball one. Hamilton's 0 for 3. There's the way they play it. A little different this time. Hamilton's a .354 lifetime hitter against the Astros. Dave Clark having some fun with the outfielders there. It's 2-0. Eduardo Perez, the bench coach, is the man who prepares the defensive alignment, and he works with the infielders while Dave Clark positions the outfielders from Eduardo's charts, which he gets from the decision sciences department. Foul back. 2 balls and a strike.
Josh Hamilton just doesn't look as big and intimidating as I've seen him in the past. That's intimidating. How do you read all that stuff all the time?
Better be watching Dave Clark if you're an outfielder. Strike makes it 2-2.
Some kind of great movement on that fastball.
Yes. Hamilton down to 203.
Don't you wonder what's going through his head?
Boy.
He's had such great success. Last year got off to the kind of start. They were like Babe Ruthian numbers early on.
That's strike 3. 3 strikeouts in a row for Ambrose. Hamilton talking with Brian O'Nora as he departs.
Pretty good looking pitch. Is it low? With a breaking ball in front of the plate. That's right in range. You better not be taking it very often with 2 strikes.
Ambrose is with Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton in order. Now Kendrick. Strike 1 to Kendrick. He homered in the 6th inning off Dallas Keuchel. He's 1 for 3. Callaspo on deck. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Then the Texas Rangers are here, so it's an American League West kind of week at Minute Maid Park. Off the mound, Cedeno behind second, cannot get the throw off. And Kendrick reaches.
Yeah, that's a play to be made right there for Cedeno. Maybe concerned the ball would hit the bag going by, but he gloved it cleanly, just couldn't make the exchange to the right hand. Got to make that play once you get to that point.
That'll be it for Hector Ambrose. Callaspo, the switch hitter, will be coming up next. Terrific job by Ambrose. Boy, did he hit some spots. Striking out Pujols, Trumbo, and Hamilton in order, and then that could have been the 3rd out, but it'll be Travis Blackley coming in to try to get it with the score 7-4 Astros in just a moment.
On to this lead now in the 8th inning. Join us this Friday, May 10th, for the Astros and the Rangers at 7:10. 10,000 fans will receive a pink cosmetic bag set. That's courtesy of the Methodists Cancer Center. Stay after the game for a spectacular fireworks show. That's presented by Marathon Oil. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com to pick up your tickets today.
They might want one. Right now they're taking a photo, and here's Callaspo versus Travis Blackley. Callaspo 0 for 2 with a walk. Blackley pitched in 3 of the 4 games in the Detroit Tigers series. He delivers, and there's ball 1. Callaspo is 5 for 11 as a right-handed batter coming into this game tonight. Blackley with a 3.60 ERA. Fly ball headed for the left field seats if it gets there, and it does. A 2-run homer for Callaspo, and it's 7-6 now. Callaspo hitting number 2, giving him 6 runs batted in for the season.
Well, that hurts a lot. Instead of taking that nice 3-run lead into the 9th inning, now the offense can turn that around, but the Angels turn this into that dangerous 1-run affair.
Their 3rd long ball of the night. All their 6 runs have come on long balls. Now Conger looks at ball 1. The ball hit up the middle by Kendrick was ruled a single, so Hector Ambrose went 1 1/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. In the dirt to Conger. Check swing call goes his way, and it's 2-0.
That was a very playable ball for Cedeno back of the bag. Long way to range, but got there and made the play, handle it.
Now a 1-run game. Schuck is on deck. It's 3 balls, no strikes to Hank Conger. Now Altuve will run in from second base. There were reports that after the Sunday game, Jose Veras spoke to his teammates, and some of the other players spoke. Others wanting to dig down deeper after their 9-0 shutout loss to Justin Verlander and the Tigers, and being swept in a 4-game series by Detroit at home. That's a strike. 3-1 now. This has the makings of a wild one tonight. Breeze is blowing out strongly to left. In for a strike, and it's 3-2. Garrett Richards is at work in the Angel bullpen. He's been in their rotation. That is a strong breeze. Now really picked up. Blackley comes back to get a strikeout on Conger after falling behind 3-0. But the Angels get 2 on 2 hits, and in the middle of the 8th it's 7-6 Astros.
watching this game right now don't have CSN in your own home, if your TV provider doesn't carry CSN yet, call and tell them you want CSN so you can have the very best coverage of your Astros. This is your network, Astros fans. You deserve it. To get the facts, go to iwantcsnhouston.com. Earlier in the broadcast, Brownie and Ash were talking about all the good things that were going on with the Astros minor league system. Not so much the case, though, for the Angels. They've traded away prospects in order to make a push at the playoffs here recently. Check it out. Baseball America's organizational rankings look like this in 2012. 18th and 19th. The Astros just above the Angels. And then in 2013, check it out, the difference there. Houston 9th, the Angels 30th. And when you look back at some of those trades made by the Angels, there's not much to show for it, guys.
Carlos Corpora in the batter. Mark Lowe gets a foul ball, strike one. Well, that is of concern for some of the Angel fans, certainly. They're in the go for it now mode. Their owner, Artie Moreno, spending very freely again this season to try to get a World Series back to Anaheim for the first time since '02. Jerry DiPoto's the general manager now. Been a lot of stories about Mike Scioscia and his relationship with Jerry DiPoto. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mike Scioscia's relationship with the Angels, though, would seem to be a strong one with what you'd call a rather strong multi-year contract in place.
10 years. Line shot, just foul. He hooked it with a good swing, and it's 1-2.
That's got to be tough for those Angel fans that see their major league club playing so poorly to start the year. The other LA club, the Dodgers, have had the same kind of start to their year.
They really have.
And both teams have been big spenders.
Coming into tonight, the Dodgers were 13 and 18. The Angels 11 and 20.
That guy got a chunk of the coin.
Soft pop goes foul and out of play. And you know they're committing some $242 million to Pujols over a 10-year period. He's 33 years old. Logical question is exactly what kind of output will you get from him in the final 4 or 5 years of that deal?
You know they wanted to do something probably more in the 5-year range, but when Albert Pujols, talking about a year and a half ago now, a year plus ago, says, look, I'd love to come your way. I'd love to come and play for the Angels, but we need 10 years to make this happen. Well, those negotiations just get out of control.
High right field line. Is it going to stay fair for Carlos Corpora? That's a foul ball. He was halfway to second base. Takes a long look back.
I've got to see this one again. It's a little slider that doesn't break much, and it's a no-doubter. Yeah, no doubt is right. Clearly outside of the pole.
Off that back wall. Albert Pujols had some words there for Lowe. Mark Lowe went to Fort Bend Baptist in this area. 5th round pick of Seattle in '04. Texas got him in the Cliff Lee trade. Joining the Angels this year. It's 2-2. Jason Castro's played an awful lot. He takes the night off. The lefty Wilson starting, but now it comes down to a right-hander in relief, Lowe, and Corpora, a .313 hitter from this side of the plate. 16 at bats. It's in tight for a ball, and he's worked the count full. Astros have worked some long counts tonight. Wilson threw 114 pitches. Angels have currently 1 left-hander in their bullpen. Got Downs. They've had some problems with the disabled list. They have 5 players on the DL right now. 4 are pitchers. They used 18 pitchers in April, the most they have used in any month since August of 2000, and the most they've ever used in the month of April. Fouled away. And they're hoping that Ryan Madsen can come back, recovering from Tommy John surgery. He threw a bullpen on Saturday.
Carlos Corporon has taken some massive walks away from home plate. I just don't get it.
He worked a walk.
Here's what the Angels did last season. Zach Greinke picked up as they trade Segura, who's turned out to be the starting shortstop for the Brewers. We got some good prospects in the mix. Gone. 2011 acquired Dan Herron from Arizona and lost some guys that are doing quite a job for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they've surprised people this year. So sometimes when you think you've got the sure thing, it turns the other way.
Chris Carter has a 3-run homer, 1 for 3. Strike to Carter. Pat Corbin's had some good games for Arizona.
Fair to say it's not an exact science.
Indians beat the Athletics 1-0 in Cleveland. McAllister got the win. That'll hang behind second, and Kendrick looks out to the center fielder, Trout. Trout gets there. 1 out. Trout will be due up third in the Angel ninth. Shuck and Ibar due to hit before him in the ninth inning. Jose Veras, the Astros closer, warming up. Ronnie Cedeno has struck out twice and walked tonight. Chris Perez got his 4th save for Cleveland in that 1-0 win over Oakland, and Tommy Malone. Veras warming there. And Dominguez on deck. Rockies 2, Yankees 0 at Colorado, top of the 7th inning. Cargo hit his 7th home run. Matt Belisle's in the game now in relief for Colorado. Double play ball here. Ibar gets it to Howie Kendrick, who turns it over to Pujols. 6-4-3, sending this game to the 9th. 1-run lead for the Astros, 7-6. Astros baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find out more at southwest.com. It's 7-6, and Jose Veras is in to try to close it out for Houston. He is pitcher number 5 for the Astros. The Angels, though, closed the gap a little bit with 2 runs in the 8th on a homer by Alberto Callaspo. At one point they trailed 7-4. Now they're down by 1, and Veras, who's 2 for 4 in saves, comes in.
12 innings of work on the season, 0-2 the record, 525 that Ernie, and those are not the kinds of numbers you want from your closer. If you get things turned around by locking one down on the Angels, you get that tough one-run game to deal with if you're Veras.
Well, Veras had a rough outing in his last trip to the mound on Friday. The Astros took a 3-2 lead to the 9th inning against Detroit. He walked the leadoff man, Don Kelly, got Peralta on a fly ball, and then gave up a 2-run homer to Alex Avila. Detroit won it 4-3, giving Veras his second blown save and the loss. And he also got a blown save and a loss at Anaheim against the Angels on April 13th. On the 2-run game-winning double by Albert Pujols in the bottom of the 9th. J.B. Schuck leads it off. Schuck doubled in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Here's strike 1 to him. Travis Blackley in 1/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run with no walks. He had 1 strikeout. That's in for a strike, and it's 0-2 to J.B. Schuck. According to the stories about that meeting, Veras said he very seldom speaks at those functions, but he just wanted to tell his teammates how much he regarded them and how much he thought they could play better. Ground ball to first. Carter comes up with it, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, it becomes a we thing in those meetings. You never want to, as a player, start pointing at other guys. Unless you do it in front of everybody else and it has some meaning and everybody can jump on. But the problems have gone around for this ball club, and I think everybody needs to be able to step up their own games, Veras among them.
Veras is 32 years old. He's been a Yankee, a Cleveland Indian, a Florida Marlin, a Pittsburgh Pirate. Eric Ibar, the batter. He has a double in 4 trips. Looking at ball 1. The Astros are trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Their record is 8-24. The Angels are 11-20. It's a 2-ball, no strike count on Ibar on a close call there for Brian O'Nora. Prior to that game Friday, Veras had not allowed a run in 6 straight appearances, covering 6 1/3 innings. Been among the hardest working relievers since 2011 in the majors, tied for 3rd in appearances in that time. Popped up, back, and foul for Carlos Corporan. It's a 2-ball, 1 strike count.
That's intriguing that leadoff man for the Angels, Eric Ibar, with a 2-0 count, 1 out in the 9th inning, down a run, is swinging the bat.
True.
Would think that Mike Scioscia might have been inclined to try to take at least 1 pitch, see if we can get a base runner.
Ibar had 22 walks last year and 517 at bats. This one's in the air and playable. As Carter comes in.
Get it, Chris!
Carter on a fair ball takes care of out number 2. And now Mike Trout. With Pujols on deck. The Astros are 2-5 in 1-run ball games. Trying to finish this one off. Trout has doubled. He's been hit by a pitch tonight. Crowd is standing. 15,266 faithful, wanting the Astros to snap this 6-game losing streak. And they're first on this 10-game homestand after 4 straight losses here. It's ball 1 to Trout. The Angels rallied on that game-winning hit in Anaheim April 13th by Pujols. Trout got on with an infield hit right before that. Puts it in the air, foul. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
That was a healthy hat, and that's exactly what Mike Trout's trying to do. Drive something. Extra bases, I'm sure, is what he would tell you, not thinking about home run, but try to pick up extra bases.
Angels have dropped 9 of their last 12. Now timeout called by Trout. On this beautiful Tuesday night in downtown Houston, fans have seen a show tonight. They've seen 13 runs. Angels have scored all of their 6 on 3 homers. That's a great pitch. 1 and 2.
Down and away like that is so unlikely to be driven out of the ballpark. So a great location under the circumstance.
Oh boy.
Little sinking action to boot.
95 miles per hour from Jose Veras. Two and 2 as Trout backs away from the breaking pitch.
That was intriguing to see the feet of Trout kind of slide backwards on that pitch.
Now it's a full count on Trout.
Certainly not a guy you want to walk right here.
He's walked 14 times this year. Daniels swung around toward the hole at short. And he got him on strikes. Jose Veras closes it out, striking out Mike Trout to give Houston a hard-earned 7-6 victory. That snaps a 6-game losing streak. It's the first comeback win of the season. Jose Altuve batting third for the first time. Hit a homer, had an RBI single. The Astros stole 3 bases. They had a different look to them tonight, and they hustled their way into the 1-run win. Final score 7-6 Astros, and here's how it finished from Veras.
Just a filthy off-speed breaking pitch on the 3-2. Trout knows they don't want to walk him, and so they pick up the strikeout instead.
So the line forms. The congratulations are being exchanged, and the Astros walk off the field winners tonight. Final score 7-6 over the Angels.